This is Sports Stuff with Jim Muff. The gang's all here.
Yay!
What was that voice?
Yay!
That was, I guess, Jim's almost excited for August voice.
We're getting there.
Voice.
His yay voice, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to do something about your audio levels, bud. Today is Monday, July 28th, and it is officially a football week. Ladies and gentlemen, we have football this week, we have football this Thursday, and we will have football every Thursday until February, starting a few days from now.
Yay!
There we go. That's what I was hoping I was going to get from Jim there. We have the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, Chargers-Lions in Canton, Ohio. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm assuming that I'll probably watch some of the game. At least,
Yay!
No betting on it?
No, I'm
No.
waiting until the actual action happens. With the start of the college football season. So this week we will continue our NFL division breakdowns, getting into the AFC and the NFC East. I already had Nemi reach out saying that he was maybe interested in being a part of some of the latter breakdowns, maybe the AFC North, as he is a Browns fan, and maybe some interest in getting into some of the college as well. So I suspect we will welcome Nemi back at some point to help with some of the discussion.
All right. Good to have him. Good to have him.
Yeah. As always, thanks to everybody that's interacting with content on socials, at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding, ding. Get the bell on. Shout out to any new listeners. Got a couple new subscribers on the YouTube this week. Keep that support going. Once we get to the next milestone, there will be some prizes.
Prizes?
We had some pretty solid engagement this past week, in the past couple weeks, and for some reason, anytime we talk about hot dogs, we seem to get an uptick in the watches.
So we
the
have
views.
phallic listeners? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff, hot dogs, phallic, yeah. Maybe
So
there's.
when we put Lizzie's and Muff together is when we get all the
I
attention.
think that's what the algorithm gets us. Alex, you're muted.
You're still muted.
Thank you.
How many episodes are we on?
What?
How many episodes are we on?
Well, I was trying to fix my audio levels as requested, and I might have accidentally muted myself.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't
Hey,
fix
you're
it.
coloring again?
No, I'm not coloring. I did not fix it because I made it worse, obviously being muted. Yes.
All right. Yeah, so Muff plus hot dogs equals views.
That's a very strong statement.
It is a strong statement. It's a supported statement, actually.
It is.
All right, let's jump into the leadoff. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, brother.
Yeah.
They're sad.
Great wrestler.
Horrible human being.
Questionable human being. But
I don't think there's a lot of questions to it. He's just a horrible human being. From a lot of different things, most notably the racial stuff. Like there's Terry Bollea, the human, and there's Hulk Hogan, the character. And
Brother.
that's how you have to split them up for me. It's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the guy who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, there's two different people. You got to that's how you have to look at it, right? So, in order to move forward, Terry Bollea, piece of shit. Rubber stamp on that. Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, rip your shirt, slam Andre the Giant. Without that character, there is no pro wrestling. Like that just doesn't happen. There is no WrestleMania. There is no Monday Night Wars. There is no nothing without Hulk Hogan. And I don't know how one reconciles the two. That's your business. But without Hulk Hogan, there is no pro wrestling.
As we know it.
Yeah. I don't. It's still in my mind things that happen at circuses and bingo halls. Like I don't think it gets out of that. Like, and I was talking to somebody like, when you say pro wrestling to the non pro wrestling fan, they had, for the longest time, even now, I think they say Hulk Hogan.
Right.
It's like one and the same. So like you can't deny the man's impact. That but as a human, terrible. Terrible.
There it is. And there it is. The Hulkster is no longer with us. But we did have, this isn't in pro wrestling, we did have some positive news just generally as Happy Gilmore 2 came out on Netflix. I know that I'm the only one that has watched it, so I'm not going to spoil anything.
Spoilers.
But I think we have to call attention to the fact that it came out and it's dominating a lot of people's lives at the moment.
I commit to the show that I will watch it. I would like the rest. We should have a review at some point.
Yeah, I'll for sure watch it. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
There's like 70 plus cameos.
I heard that's what I've heard is it's chock full.
That doesn't ruin anything because I think that's out there.
Yeah. Did you guys, and I'm sorry I missed last week's episode, did you guys talk about Ozzy?
Yes.
We did RIP.
Gotcha. There's a sports impact in my mind on the Ozzy thing. Like the music was in the sports. Like you can't go to an arena and not hear like Crazy Train. Hype videos had Ozzy in there at points. So that to me was crazy. That's just my 2 cents since I was not here last week. And what a way to go out. Like whether you're an entertainer, a sports guy, like you want to win the Super Bowl and then die. I don't care what anybody says. Like nobody wants to retire and get old. You want to go out on your shield. That's the way to do it.
Well, and the fact that he kept playing until the end.
That's what I mean. That's perfect. I love that. So anyway, sorry, Muff.
Oh, good. He did it. He did it his way. Whether or not you agreed with some of the stuff that he did along the way, he definitely did it his way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I think we have some characters there too, right?
Oh yeah.
Human versus character.
Yeah. But in terms of going out.
Right. That's the way to do it.
Go out on your shield.
Yep. A character, definitely off the basketball court and on the basketball court. Nikola Jokic. Talk a lot about in the offseason how he's super pumped to go home. He goes to the horse track. He owns some horses. Well, over this past weekend, one of his horses won a race. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone get more excited, even the Kentucky Derby, even anything in the Triple Crown, more emotionally moved about his horse winning than Nikola Jokic was when this went down. Anybody else see any of these videos or clips?
No, but I'm glad you brought it up. I'm going to hunt for them now.
He literally collapsed sort of over a fence, was rubbing his eyes, and then was popping champagne bottles. It was epic.
How much money did he win when this horse won? Is the question.
I don't think it's that substantial.
That's not the reason.
Because it's not one of the big ones, right?
I mean, these are those, what are those called? Where they're in a cart behind the horse.
Right.
It's one of those. So this isn't like thoroughbreds. This is those types of races. But he was super pumped about it. But I hope.
I mean, he did win money. Let's not get it twisted.
Right.
But he does care a lot about his horses.
And hopefully we do a little bit more of that throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Nate, we're going to come into your world here.
Okay.
Get some of your thoughts. This is obviously you do high school and some adult baseball, but in New Jersey, Little Leaguer Marco Rocco, only out of New Jersey Little League do you get the name Marco Rocco, was ejected and suspended per the Little League rules regarding a post-home run bat flip. His father, the team, I'm not sure who put this into motion, went to court to get some type of injunction on this and additional consideration about this suspension based on the bat flip in the in-game. He was ejected and he misses the next game because of it. And the courts came back and said that he was eligible to play in the next game, which happened to be the New Jersey State Finals, a game which they ultimately lost.
Oh.
I feel like going to court over Little League Baseball seems like a lot.
That is extra.
So, Little League is now under a little bit of scrutiny for all of this because in some of their promotional commercials and other materials, they actually highlight some bat flip moments like post home run of like big time moments in Williamsport. All information, all signs point to the fact that the umpires followed all of the rules by the books. It was legit in the actions that they took, and the courts said, no, 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 no. So, Nate, I want you to provide your thoughts from an umpire's perspective, just generally on bat flips. What would be your course of action if you saw this in a game, and was this too far in response from the team, father, etc., so forth?
Like Alex said, yeah, it's too far. But if the rule, I don't know the league rules.
Right.
So if it says there in black and white, any sort of backflip, showboating, excessive celebration, you can deem it excessive, then yeah, if you toss the kid, yeah, you got to serve the penalty. But it comes down from the top from bottom. So, I mean, they watch Major League Baseball. They do it. You see it in college. College is starting to get to the point where, from when I talk to guys that do college baseball, they're tossing almost automatically. Because what happens is you get a retaliation. And it's going to trickle down to high school. It's going to trickle down to middle school and pony baseball. Then it's going to go down to Little League. I mean, if you want a bat flip, to me, it's got to be like a walk-off home run. Like, there's too many kids that are doing it. I mean, it's been a point of emphasis even in the high school game now. But in high school, you don't have to automatically eject.
You don't have to?
No, it's not like, oh, he bat flipped, you eject. Now, if he gives it a real big twirl and throws it way up in the air, then yeah, I might say that was too much. But if he just like tosses it or whatever, like, and it's the same thing like you see all the time where you see umpires tell guys, hey, start running, don't watch it. Because all it's going to do is escalate. Someone's going to get hit by a pitch. And then the moment you do that and you warn both teams, oh, well, how come you're warning our guys? Our guys didn't do nothing. Well, tell your asshole that hit the home run and bat flipped, he's the one that started it.
I have points.
Go for it.
Point one, Nate, how many people have you ejected in a game? In your career, how many people have you ejected?
One, maybe two.
And how long have you been doing this?
7 years.
I just want that to go that, like, Nate's not an asshole. I think that the asshole to non-asshole ratio, I think, is part of the problem. I think the assholes may have increased a tad, and we need more Nates. I think that's a small part of the issue. I also am a firm believer in this, and everybody's going to get, this might come from my neck, but I believe there should be a 30-yard bubble around the sports arena that your child is playing in, where no adults can be around. I don't care if you're a parent. I don't care if you're a fan. I don't care if you're an umpire. Sorry, Nate.
None taken.
30-yard bubble around the entire perimeter of the sports arena. Football field, baseball field, no adults. I think the children, no matter the age, well, we'll go with middle school up. Because, toddlers, they need some supervision. But I think the children should then referee themselves. We did.
Did you?
We did.
In a competitive atmosphere or in the backyard?
Sandlot baseball was handled, and things were sorted out.
How were they sorted out, Jim?
Any way it needed to be sorted out, Muff.
So you're saying who won then? The biggest bully?
Things were sorted out.
So who won then? The biggest bully, not the people who actually won the game
Not
and
every
had the skill?
time, Muff.
Okay.
Reason, etiquette, logic, it all got sorted. It all got sorted.
I think that I disagree.
And that's why I said, feel free to disagree if you want. I'm not objecting.
But in this instance, I'm just glad that team ended up losing because you know what would have happened if they won?
Yeah.
What's wrong with a bat flip?
No. If that team that kid got to come back and play in the final game, if they would end up winning, you would have had an injunction by the losing team, and it all would have been
We go on to court.
Blah, blah, blah.
It'd have been a court
You know
thing
why?
and blah, blah, blah. When we could have a 30-foot or 30-yard perimeter, and we just had fistfights.
See, you said logic and reason, and I brought up
No,
fistfights, and you said not
fistfights.
necessarily,
I didn't-
and now you've come back into fistfighting.
I didn't rule them out.
Yeah, but now you've said that's like
That's how
that
you
is
All
the
right.
rule. That is the
All right.
rule of thumb here.
Let's
Is
be real
fistfights won't
honest
sell
here.
it.
see how this
Okay?
ends.
Kid hits a homer, he flips the bat.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just bring ourselves back to like 12 to 16.
Now, wait a minute.
Kid
This just
flips
makes
the bat.
remember one thing, too, and I don't know if it's changed in the past however many years, but
Yeah.
the one thing I do remember is there was a thing in Little League, it might have even been coach pitch or something, it was about throwing your bat.
Yeah.
Now that I
actually,
agree.
yeah,
That's safety. That's safety.
Well, technically, bat flip, you can say, well, he threw the bat up in the
See,
air.
that's where we're screwing up. We're saying technically. Forget technically.
You got to remember,
Tw-
Jim, these are kids that have no sense of awareness around them. That's
The
like even in
principle
high
of this-
school.
yeah.
I even tell the kids when they ground out the first and they go back to the dugout, I say, leave your helmet on. Do not
Nate?
take your helmet off until you get back to the dugout.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm trying to say is, right?
Mhm.
Let's take it. Let's go 10 to 16. Okay?
Mhm.
Kid flips a bat on me. All right. That makes me mad. Okay. He flips it again. I'm hitting him with the ball. He wants to retaliate. We fight
It
there
does-
in the
it does-
mound.
At that point, it comes sooner than you think. Kid bat flips. Honestly, the next kid is probably going to get plunked. And then that's when
Okay.
So,
You
okay,
know what?
so let's do this then. So someone bats before one of your children, Jim.
Uh-huh.
They bat flip. Pitcher's
Yep.
pissed off this team bat flips, and your
Yep.
kid gets drilled. Puts them out for the next 3 games because it shatters their elbow.
Okay.
Are you mad?
My
Or are you
kid's
like,
going to
well,
go talk to him. I'm going to tell my kid, go talk to your teammate for being an asshole. Jack that kid up.
So it all comes back to what then?
Violence.
There's got to be teammate accountability. Kids
Right,
got to
don't
police
put your damn
themselves a bit.
Like for some big thing like a walk-off.
But see,
Because
now
then
I'm
there's
out there talking to
retaliate.
the ump. There's court injunctions.
I-
Taking a valuable time,
I immediately said that getting a court involved is way too much for Little League.
but we're not going to stop it. It's only going to get worse. We're going to have Karens talking about it on TikTok. The neighbors Karen's going to talk about that Karen. And the kids aren't going to ever have to hold themselves accountable. There is no kid-on-kid justice.
Jim,
And you know what
I don't think they can tell them to fight.
I'm not
Adult
saying they do, Muff.
Ruin youth sports.
I just say we back off. We let it all work out. We stand back 30 yards. And we say, go after him, Tiger. Let's see what happens. Good luck.
And then when somebody gets hurt really badly,
Look, my grandfather, a kid did not like me. A kid kept throwing balls at my head. My grandfather grabbed me out of the dugout and said, listen, bud, if you're going to stand there and let that keep happening, I'm going to take you home because you have no ways of handling your business, or you can handle your business. But I'm going to sit here in the truck out here in the outfield, and if you don't handle it, I'm taking you home. I handled it.
How'd you handle it, Jim?
I beat his ass.
See? Violence.
But I had other means. I could have used my words. I could
And
have.
that's the problem, is that 10 to 16 years old is going to be violence.
Well,
You threw out logic and reason and all these other things, but we come back to the only outcome
that's
is
me.
violence.
That's me. Muff, I like to think you're 10 to 16-year-old. When you have one, you'll be like, listen, you have two options. You can talk and express yourself through words or express yourself through violence and give your kid a choice. I'm just built different than you. But let the kids shake it out.
I just feel
That's all I'm asking for.
I just feel like if it was your kid on the receiving end of a pummeling, that it might feel different.
I can bring Joe up here, and I can give you case examples where I do not feel differently.
Well,
If my kid ran her mouth, which the youngest one sometimes does, and
Now,
gets
where's
her ass
that
kicked,
from?
I'm not exactly. If she runs her mouth to a bigger kid and gets her ass kicked, get bigger or get meaner. Work your shit out.
Those are still the only options. Get bigger or get meaner. Not use your
That's
words
it.
appropriately.
She can try, but her words is what got her in that mess sometimes. Let the kids work it out. Not waste taxpayer dollars in the courtroom. Is all I'm saying.
I will go back to my original point, was that getting a court involved is extremely too far.
So all right, I'll pass it back to you since I'm a little bit of extreme. What would your answer be, Alex?
I just probably would have been pissed off about it as a parent that my kid got kicked out of the game or whatever, and been like, well, don't do that again. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna call the court, even if I disagree. And I'm like, yeah, man, that sucks. That was stupid. I'd probably be like, well, you take what happened and you learn from it. And you don't do that again, because clearly they're gonna call you on it.
And I can appreciate that. I think that's a great gesture for your micro household. Like, that's your household but it doesn't fix the systemic bat flipping issue.
Systemic bat flipping issue.
I think it's a little much to say it's systemic, Jim.
We just said it was. It's on commercials.
I don't have a huge problem with bat flipping. I don't really care that much. I think it's like, sometimes you're like, hey, act like you've been there before, is kind of my theory on it. I'd probably tell my kid, hey, don't be a showboat asshole. Act like you've been there before.
But we know showboating assholes are a thing. We see it on television all the time.
I know.
You of grandpa on the porch hate that shit.
I do. That's why I said my first thing would be to tell the kid, well, this is what happens when you act like that.
But I believe we can fix it if we let the children hash it out. The children are our future.
This is taking a weird turn.
Give them.
All right, Jim. I want you to put together a parent group in and around your local area
On it.
and I want you to test this. And it could be a great case study. Also interested to see who all agrees to participate.
I think there'll be some.
I don't know if the kids are signing up knowing that violence will be the outcomes.
You'd be surprised, Muff.
Okay.
Make America fight again.
Okay.
Also in baseball, Oakland Athletic star Nick Kurtz did something this past week that had not been done in the history of all of baseball, finishing a game with at least 6 hits, 6 runs, and 8 RBIs. He had 19 total bases to tie single-game record in that game. Is this the best game ever?
4 home runs. I don't think you mentioned that. 4 of them.
No, I mean, because the home runs was part of all of this, but, the 6 hits, 6 runs, 8 RBIs were the record-breaking pieces.
Yeah. Well, I think he's the only rookie to ever hit 4 home runs in a game. Because he's a 20. I feel like that's also an important piece of this. He's a 22-year-old rookie.
Here we go. Adults are arguing.
What?
It's the best game ever? Alex, best game ever?
I mean,
by a hitter?
Has there been one better statistically? Seems like no.
How many were in the crowd?
I don't know if it was in Oakland or otherwhere. I'm not sure.
I think, yeah, that's probably one of the best games ever for an individual player.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yes. Well, Alex, I don't know why you're so damn contentious, but
well,
I think you just encouraged
my statement.
That's all.
You encourage this behavior, Jim. You,
I'm
in
just
fact,
trying to use my words right now.
Now
Like
we're
you
gonna have to
encouraged
fight.
me.
This is it. Now we're gonna have to punch each other because that's how we solve our problem.
That's how we're going to solve this.
also in the baseball world, Milwaukee's George Webb restaurant almost had to give away free hamburgers based on their promise to do so if the Brewers would win 12 straight games. They had 11 going into a Tuesday game against the Mariners, but they dropped that game 1-0. My question to the group, if you were a restaurateur, what would be the sport that you would choose to do a food giveaway for, and what food would that be? I'm not going to ask how many games or anything, but if you had to commit to something like this, what food would you give away, and what sport would it be for?
I think if the Pirates went over 500 for the year, I would give away like donuts.
See, if it was
Okay.
baseball, I would say hot dogs. But for some reason, my mind goes to hockey and chicken wings.
I would give away donuts because they're zeros. You know what I mean? And so I would give out the zeros.
I think to piggyback off that, Jim, I would do something like, all right, if I was a donut shop, anytime the local team or whatever pitches a shutout,
Ooh,
every person the next day gets a free donut.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Leave the light. It's like the light at Krispy Kreme.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, you get to show up between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. or 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., whatever it is, and get a donut.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's a good one. We should put that out there, Nate. Trademark, copyright, patent. I'm going to go with basketball, and it's going to be corn dogs.
Okay.
For all these people.
Okay, but for
Yeah,
what?
you have to think about the finances too. That's why I said like hot dogs for baseball or something, because I think chicken wings, but then I'm like, those are expensive.
I didn't have to say for what, Jim. I just said it.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to connect the corn dog to basketball. That's all.
Have you
Jackie
ever
Moon.
watched Semi-Pro?
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
That's where it came from.
Thank
Corn
you.
dogs, Jim. Corn dogs for all these people.
Appreciate you.
So it'd be,
What was it in the movie? They scored 100?
It was a points total. I forget what the point total was, though. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jumping into the NFL. Shamar Stewart has officially signed with the Bengals. Reportedly got improved payout language in his rookie deal. The most contentious piece was that he could lose his salary or not be entitled to any salary if he got into trouble.
Don't get me started again.
Why are you upset?
I just think that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, your contract is void if you get in trouble. That's normal. That's life.
I'm so confused by like your stance tonight. Like I thought
No
I'd be
different
more
than
on
it
your
was
team. Like
I made this stance last week, and I stand by it.
but like it's a and I saw the sound clip. Like, it's a contract. You agree to work.
Yes, but why should you not get not paid when you do something bad?
Because you did something bad.
Yes, so you should not get paid. Or you should have your contract terminated. If I do something bad at work, they say you cannot work here anymore. Your contract is terminated.
Right?
Yes. So
That
that's
was
what I'm saying.
his whole thing, Jim. He's like, oh, you put that contract language in there. I don't want to sign that.
Yeah, they put in there that if he gets in trouble, that he like loses money or like part of his contract. And he was like, no, I'm not signing that. I'm like, why? That's normal life. You can't do bad things when you're
So
working.
you're saying you agree with that. Okay. All right. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
Yes.
I'm confused on where you're at tonight. Okay. So
Yes,
you agree that like being upset about that was stupid.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I was confused on that.
Yes.
All right. Shamar Stewart did I guess point out, and apparently the Bengals were late to the party on this. This is, I guess, pretty standard contract language across most NFL teams. For some reason, the Bengals hadn't put it in there yet, so Shamar Stewart was like the first Bengals high draft pick to have that in his contract language, and he's like, well, the Bengals have never done this. They're calling me, they're like, putting this to me because they're worried about me more than anybody else. And I think it was the Bengals just saying, yeah, we should have had this in there before. We're putting it in there now.
Wait, you mean the Bengals are behind on things? Like
No.
facilities?
Right.
Bingo,
Right.
bango, bongo. In other contract news, the Chargers and left tackle Rashawn Slater have reportedly reached an agreement on a 4-year, $114 million deal, which includes $92 million guaranteed, making him the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history. Jim Harbaugh paying the big boys.
I don't think it's anything to do with Jim Harbaugh. I think ownership, somebody got a virus in Charger Town. That's all.
So it's
They've
nothing to do
never
with the fact that
paid-
Jim Harbaugh says, we're going to run the ball down everybody's throat. We have a good tackle. Let's pay him.
He's not the first coach to say, hey, let's pay our offensive linemen. They've had running backs like throughout the annals of Chargerdom. Something's up with ownership. They had an epiphany, or the ghost of football past came and scared the shit out of ownership. They've never paid the offensive line like this.
So that's what
So I don't know what's going on.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's not like the game-changing.
He's the common denominator in the change.
Nate,
Fine,
I feel like
fine.
you need to back me up on this. Is Jim Harbaugh not said from the beginning, let's win in the trenches?
What do you think
Yeah.
Marty Schottenheimer did?
Did they pay those boys in the trenches?
So we're saying that he has this influence
Yes.
Jim
over a team
Harbaugh
that's
put his money where his
notoriously
mouth
tight
is.
with the purse strings, and it's just because he's Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what you got when you brought him in there. The first thing was, okay, he's going to focus on the heavy run game in a pass-first league anymore. And now he's going to pay his offensive linemen. And he's going to build from the offensive line back.
All right, you know what? I have nothing that can counter this, so I'm going to retreat. But
Retreat.
You should retreat because this is Jim Harbaugh hate coming in.
yeah, again, I'm backing up.
Backing up.
You need to back up behind that tarp
Back
that
it
Jim
up,
Harbaugh
Karen.
was
Back up.
hiding behind.
I'm not saying anything else anymore.
Yeah, Jimmy can back up behind his Brinks truck.
Again, you all pile on. I'm not
You
saying
brought this
shit.
upon yourself, Jim. You brought this upon
Am
yourself.
I arguing?
You are. You continue to talk. We're going to get into a fight.
I'm not saying shit.
Cowboys and tight end Jake Ferguson reach a 4-year extension worth $52 million in new money, with $30 million of it guaranteed.
Well, let's not pay Micah. It's cool.
Did not expect this one. I mean, Mike is going to get paid, but I did not expect Jake Ferguson to get this kind of money.
No, this was stupid.
Now, I'm curious to see what Jerry's mindset was on this one.
Parkinson's attack.
Alex, have you observed any
Alex left.
behavior?
Alex left. He's back.
I want to get it on a swallow. Sorry.
Alex, have you observed any Jerry Jones behavior that would lead you to believe he has Parkinson's?
No, I have not paid enough attention to answer that question. Jerry Jones is not on my radar of things I commonly pay attention to.
Fair enough. In New York, Justin Fields went from a reported injury that had people thinking he was going to be out for the season. I literally heard people talking about this at a golf course.
Yep.
Did you guys see? Glad we got rid of Justin Fields. He's out for the season. I said, what? He's got a dislocated toe. He's probably going to be back within the week.
Right there. That's why I don't like Pittsburgh. If there was
this
ever
was
a
not
reason,
just in Pittsburgh. This was New York was also doing this.
Yeah, but they were more upset.
Who?
New York.
Well, Jim, I think the original headline was like, "Oh, Fields goes off the field on a cart."
I agree with that. I'm not saying his season's over was not why I hate him. I'm saying glad we got rid of him. Like, why are you glad? Like, that's a bit much.
I mean, be better not to have him if his season ended.
But okay, that's okay.
I mean, Jim, would you rather have a quarterback on your team that had a season-ending injury or not have him on your team?
Why not? But man, that sucks for the Jets.
Rude. Are you going with the it's rude angle?
Yeah, I just don't like that. That sucks. Like Justin
It's not
Fields.
like they had the voodoo doll and put a
Yeah,
pin
but I
in
mean,
his
like,
toe.
that's still not cool. I just don't like that approach. Because the minute it happens to Aaron Rodgers, and you guys get the bear poked at you, like, oh, we told you got crippled, man.
You realize you would be first in line for that one.
Yes, but they're going to be butthurt at me. Mine's a general hate for Aaron Rodgers, not your team.
Terry McLaurin is now at Commander's Camp, and a hold-in as opposed to a holdout without a new deal in place, but he was placed on the physically unable to perform list with an ankle injury. I think we talked about this hopefully happening within the next 2 weeks. Do we still put that timetable in, or do we think this is going to get done within the next few days?
I think it's going to get done by the end of the week.
Yeah, I agree.
If they're smart.
I agree if they're smart. We also have now former Raiders defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, released by the team amid reports that he was not adhering to his recovery plans from an injury. But more information started to come out. Even people from ESPN saying that there was some type of dispute or quote-unquote weird situation involving Wilkins and another member or members of the team. Specifically, Josina Anderson reported, and I quote, "Some league sources believe an incident involving a teammate may have factored, in part, into the Raiders' fatigue and release of defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, beyond the management of his foot injury, as the reported predominant cause." The Raiders have not officially confirmed an incident or a complaint involving Wilkins and a teammate, while another direct league source confirmed awareness of a situation in which Christian was playing around. Talk about a way to lose out on tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Alex, this would be contract things coming into play here. Do you support the Raiders?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, you're paid money to do a job. You are not doing the job, you do not get the money. The job
in this case, the job was to rehab.
Yeah, that your job assignment at that point in time was rehab from your injury. If you're not working to get better, if I was working and I did not know how to do something, and my boss said you need to go to this training and learn how to do something, and I said okay, but I went to the training and then I actually snuck off and went to the casino the whole time and came back and had no idea how to do my job, I would get fired.
I feel like there's a lot of reasons Alex can get fired.
There is. And why these don't apply to other people is beyond me.
Nate, do you have these problems?
Yes,
Nope.
if Nate sneaks off to the casino during work, he gets fired too. And guess what? Jim does it, and so do you.
Fair enough.
Do we think the
Nate,
truth
is this
will come out
true?
with this book?
I don't know. I feel like this is something really weird or stupid.
Yeah, like a prank gone wrong thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's something in that that odd category that may not come out because it may be embarrassing for not just him, but others potentially that are still on the team. So I don't think this comes out anytime soon. At least intentionally comes out anytime soon. So a couple other things here in the NFL. The NFL is fining more than 100 players for selling Super Bowl tickets above face value.
That's
Which
insane.
apparently they will have to pay a fine of 1.5 times the face value that they paid. They won't be permitted to buy Super Bowl tickets for the next 2 Super Bowls unless they are actually playing in the game. And any employees, not players, but employees who violated policy will be fined 2 times face value. So they actually get fined a little bit more in this situation.
I disagree with that. I think it should be a blanket.
Everyone gets 2x, 3x, whatever it is.
But no, I think that is bullshit, and they should get fined, and that's like a shitty thing to do to somebody. You make enough money to play football, I'm sure. You don't need to, I get mad when people do that, period, let alone in that situation. I feel like you're taking advantage of people. But I don't think that, based on your status, you should get punished differently. I think you did something shitty, whether you're a player or employee, and you shall be punished the same.
I don't get why these players even need the Super Bowl tickets if you're not playing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that goes down. There must be a status or the ability to put in for that. I don't know.
I wonder if they're like, hey, if you want some here, you buy them first at this price.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have you're first on the list, in a lottery, you're first up to buy them.
Yeah, maybe it's like a veteran thing. Maybe veterans get some opportunities. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I did think that was weird. But I do think, if you're going to punish them at this point, I don't think it matters if they're playing in the Super Bowl or not. Then we just
I want to know what happens if they say
that.
I'm not paying it.
They
I'm
should
sure
just
there are
not.
further repercussions.
Yeah, you just garnish it from their check.
Yeah, they can do that. They could garnish wages.
They
Okay.
wholeheartedly.
That would be the team doing it, which then they would pay back to the league, I'm assuming. So there's the option. And maybe this is what happens with fines all the time. Maybe it is garnished from their wages.
Yeah.
And we just don't realize that because they say they have to pay a fine. But
And
it may
nobody's
come right off
talking
top.
about like where's that money go?
Roger Goodell's
Like any other fine. Goes back into league operations, Jim.
Think it'll go back to, maybe getting a good Super Bowl act? That'd be cool.
too.
I don't know. But like more pyro. I don't know. Put it back in the Super Bowl act.
It was like, take all the funds and put it into pyro for the halftime show.
Yeah. Blow that sucker up.
Violence and explosions today from Jim.
Yeah,
You're
buddy.
on brand, buddy. You're on brand.
Thank you. Thank you.
From the script. It's violence.
Jim, of note for you and your current NFL team,
Mhm.
Texans running back Joe Mixon reportedly will be missing significant time, still recovering from a foot injury. How you feeling about a guy who had over 1,000 all-purpose yards last year?
It's no good. It's not good.
But then I feel like I read somewhere that he was going to be back for the start of the season.
Hopeful.
Hopeful,
I
but
think
doubt.
there's a
I
lot of-
don't have a lot of faith.
There's a lot of hope in pooping in one hand and seeing which fills up more.
But you know who they said would be RB1 if he is out beginning of the year?
Who's that?
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Well, he'll get hurt, and then they'll have none.
That would be, was it Aubin Wally? Is that his name?
No, I'm trying to think how it's pronounced. He used to play for the Bucks. His first name's Dare.
Yes.
Dare Agumbawale.
Agumbawale. That's the one.
Umbawale or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
It's Dare.
Thank you, Alex. Any other news in the NFL before we get into the AFC East and NFC East discussions?
No, we're good.
Training camps are happening.
They
We're
is.
gonna see news every day, and we're gonna see some primetime performers against guys that are going to be selling insurance next week, and then we're going to see other things that come out, and people are like, "Oh my God, this is a Super Bowl team where they're going to lose all of the games based on one pass or one clip."
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to training camp.
In spring training or in training camp.
I tell you what, a new episode of SVU started though.
Yeah, I know. Someone should be watching it upstairs.
Did we not discuss
The closed captioning is not one of those options.
Listen, she's
apparently.
falling asleep on the couch as she does every goddamn episode.
Got the closed captioning, and someone lost the remote like forever ago, so I don't even have the real TV remote. I don't know who
Okay.
they lost the remote.
All right, let's get into the AFC East breakdown. Last year's standings had the Bills at 13-4, winning the division. The Dolphins at 8-9, Jets at 5-12, Patriots 4-13. So division dominated last year by the Bills. Who we start with? Key additions: they bring in guard Kendrick Green, Laviska Shenault Jr., I believe, came in from Jacksonville. Larry Ogunjobi on the defensive line. Joshua Palmer at wide receiver. And Joey Bosa comes in as an edge rusher. Some of the losses: they lost wide receiver Gabe Davis. They lost Leonard Floyd on the defensive side, along with Tre'Davious White and Von Miller. So the key losses on the defensive side of the ball primarily. And they did pretty good in putting some replacements in there. How do we feel about the Bills' offseason, and do we think they will continue to be the cream of the crop in the AFC East? Alex?
Yeah. I root for the Bills every year, honestly. I really, just for their fan base and how passionate they are, I'd want them to have a good year.
All right. Jim, how are you feeling?
I feel like there's a chink in the armor. I think they'll be the top of the division, but I think I have doubts.
You have doubts about their ability to progress past the division, like in the playoffs?
Yep.
All right. Nate?
I mean, they don't really make any splash moves in the offseason by any means, and they usually don't. But I like them going out and getting Joey Bosa if he can stay healthy to replace Von Miller. But I mean, Josh Allen's done more with less.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I think the Bills are going to win this division. I don't think there's going to be much dissension amongst the ranks here in our discussion. I think this comes down to how competitive are they when they get into the playoff picture. Next, we have the Dolphins. Key additions included James Daniels along the offensive line, along with Larry Borum. They bring back Minka Fitzpatrick via trade with the Steelers that also saw them lose Jalen Ramsey. And they bring in Nick Westbrook-Akeen. I believe he was with the Titans. And again, losses Jalen Ramsey and the quarterback. They also lost Raheem Mostert, who was hurt for, I think, about half the season last year, but when healthy, is a touchdown machine for the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a less than stellar year. Mike McDaniel, do we think that they turn it around this year and are competitive, or do they continue to spin their wheels in Florida? Nate.
They'll have their ups and downs like they did last year. I mean, same thing. Like they didn't go out really and get anybody. Like they got a couple linemen, and then I think the Minka Jalen trade. I mean, it's kind of 1-for-1 in a way where you're trading your best corner to get one of the top safeties. Westbrook-Akeen played a pretty big role in Tennessee, but I mean, it's not like getting a top 10 receiver by any means. And then you lose a guy, like you said, touchdown machine in Mostert. So, I mean, I don't see a significant improvement here.
Jim, how you feel about Dolphins?
I think they'll have the similar kind of year as last year. You may see some growth, but probably not a lot.
Alex?
I think they'll have a very average season. I don't think we'll be talking about how terrible they are, and I don't think we'll be talking about how great they are. I don't know whether we won or they won in the trade yet, but Mostert, you're right, when he's healthy, touchdown machine, so that's a loss. But I always have been a Westbrook-Akeen fan. I take him often in like touchdown score parlays because he's usually about like plus 700 odds. So he's always that good one to like throw on at the end for a huge boost. So I think he's a good pickup.
Alex's betting world intersecting with his.
Yes, I was like, that's why that name sticks out to me, because he's right in that middle of the ground. Where you can really take a same game parlay up.
Yeah, he'll probably have worse odds to boost your parlays now because I think there's more likely he's going to catch a touchdown pass from Tua than from Will Levis and anybody else who's been at the Titans recently.
I'll have to find some new people.
Yeah. Next, move on to the Jets. Obviously, we've talked about Justin Fields as an addition, coming in from Pittsburgh, Brandon Stevens at quarterback, and Andre Sisco in the defensive backfield, all joining the Jets. Losses, they lost Devontae Adams, they lost Hassan Reddick, they lost DJ Reed, they lost Javon Kinlaw, they lost Morgan Moses, and obviously this didn't re-sign Aaron Rodgers. So, all of that being said, are the Jets going to be competing for a winning record? Yes or no, Alex?
No way. I think the Jets are going to Jets, and they are going to suck again.
Nate?
No, they will not compete for the season.
Jim?
No.
I agree. I don't think the Jets have anything in them this year, and the Jets will jet, as Alex said. And last, in the AFC East, we have the Patriots. Key additions include Mike Vrabel as the head coach, Stephon Diggs at wide receiver, Harold Landry III as linebacker, and Milton Williams along the defensive line. They did lose, and I put this in here just because I think it's interesting. Joe Milton as a backup quarterback goes to the Cowboys. A lot of people were kind of high on Joe Milton in that backup role in New England. I assumed they would hold on to him for maybe one more year, and they did not. And then Chukwuma Okorafor, they released him after placing him on the exempt list. So those are some of the losses. Not a lot of losses with additions here. Patriots, improvement from last year?
Yes.
Alex? Yes. Jim says yes. Nate?
Yeah, there's not much room to go south from where they were.
I agree. Alex?
Yeah, I would say the same. I guess you could call it an improvement, but I still don't think that. I think they'll get a couple wins, and I think it'll be credit to Mike Vrabel being a decent coach.
I agree. I think Mike Vrabel is worth 2 to 3 wins for them this season.
Yes.
just add to whatever their total would have been. Just add 2 or 3, and he'll get them there.
Yes, because originally on paper I would have said like 5-12. I'll give them 7-10. Spoiler alert. For just Mike Rabel factor.
All right. So that brings us to where we think this division will end up at the end of the year. What are the end of the year records? Who is winning? Let's start with Jim.
I have the Bills at 11-6, Patriots at 10-7, the Dolphins at 8-9, and the Jets 6-11. And I feel like I was just doing that because to be generous.
So 6 is a high number there.
6 is very high in my mind.
All right, Nate.
I also have the Bills winning the division at 12-5. The Dolphins, as we said, have average year. They'll go 9-8, and the Jets and Patriots both finish at 6-11.
All right, Alex.
I'll go Bills 13-4. That's hopeful. Dolphins 11-6. Patriots 7-10, and I think the Jets stink. I think 6 is too generous, so I say 4-13.
Alex says I will not be generous.
No, I will not be generous for the Jets.
I also have the Bills winning the division at a 12-5 record. I have the Dolphins in second place, 10-7, Patriots 7-10, and the Jets at 6-11. We'll see if 6 is generous, because 3 of us have the Jets with 6 wins, and Alex said, screw that, they get 4.
Yep. I'm just saying that if you look at our Instagram poll from last week, I was voted that my records were most likely to be.
Yeah, you and all your burner accounts, we know.
I was one for myself, I will say that. But there had to have been others.
There were others, I can say that. All right, any last words on the AFC East?
Nope.
Okay, moving on to the NFC East. Last year's standings had the Eagles, the Super Bowl champion Eagles, winning this division at 14-3. The Commanders, upstart Commanders, and Jaden Daniels, 12-5. Cowboys at 7-10, and the Giants, the lowly New York teams, continuing to be lowly, at 3-14, at the bottom of the NFC East. We start with the Eagles, who didn't have a whole lot going on. They bring in Adoree Jackson at cornerback. They lose Milton Williams along defensive line, Darius Slay in the defensive backfield, and Josh Sweat at the defensive end spot. The majority of the household names that we've associated with the Eagles in their Super Bowl run, still there. Eagles make it to at least the NFC Championship game. Yes or no, Jim?
Yes.
Okay. Alex?
I'm trying to sit here and wrap my mind around, like, who else I would say. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes or no?
Why do I have to be so specific? Yes.
Because that's the question I asked. Nate?
I think this is the year that someone sneaks up on him. It's just a matter of.
Okay. I'm more in Nate's here, so I'm going to go with no. I do think they ultimately are probably going to win this division, but I think they get knocked off somewhere along the line. All right. Next, we have the Commanders.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
We've talked about what's going on with Terry McLaurin right now. Additions for the Commanders: Javon Kinlaw along defensive line, Nate Herbig along the offensive line, Von Miller, Laramie Tunsil, Deebo Samuel. The only key loss that I really saw, unless somebody else knows something here, was Jeremy Chin in the defensive backfield.
I don't really see anything negative about the Commanders this offseason, so.
Should be trending up.
They were trending up. They trended up last year pretty big, so do they continue that momentum, I guess, is the question.
I'm trying to think of what... obviously Terry McLaurin, if he's not there or unhealthy, is a big blow to them. Aside Terry McLaurin, are there any key injuries that could create issues?
That are current?
Let's say aside Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin.
I think if they lose like Bobby Wagner's veteran leadership on the defensive side, that could take a blow.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I said at one point last week, statistically, they're the oldest team in the league. And when you look at some of the guys they brought in, Von Miller and Laramie Tunsil, I feel like have been in the league at least a decade now. And then Deebo has been around a little bit, but I wouldn't call him old, but I mean, in league years, he might be old.
Right.
So I think that's something to keep in mind is, are these guys going to have the longevity they need for a 17-game season plus a playoff run?
Yeah, like you could have a 49ers situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
to say like one or two of these injuries could crush them, no, but it could slow them down. You rock 4 of them, yeah, like
Now we got problems.
now you got problems. And I
Yeah.
think the age is a factor, but it's that's why I was on the fence with my rankings later. Is like,
Mhm.
yeah, if they can make a run at the right time, if they time it out right, sure, they're good. But let lightning strike like it did the Niners, and no.
All right. Yeah, I'm I'm with everybody. I think here they should be trending in a positive direction. I think they will go as far as their team health allows them to go.
Yep.
Cowboys waiting to figure out what they're gonna do with Micah Parsons. I don't think there's really any debate, but that is, we'll say, one current question mark is how quickly is he going to become the highest paid non-quarterback.
Yeah.
But 2 key additions and losses for the Cowboys.
Can
They bring
everybody
in.
just watch Alex for a minute?
But there's a fly.
It's literally like somebody was talking in his ear, like Jesus was like, or God was speaking to him. He's like, "Yes,
Yo.
Jesus, what's up?"
A
Is that
fly
Gary
went
Jones
my
in your-
ear. Not in my ear, but like by my ear.
It was like a voice spoke to him out of nowhere.
I wish it was just a fly. Unfortunately,
See,
I
Muff doesn't see our faces the entire time, but like that. If you were watching on YouTube, you needed that moment.
Unfortunately, I got no wisdom. All I got was bzzz, roughly.
Sorry, Muff.
Oh no. We're going to see that one later. Cowboys key additions: George Pickens at wide receiver, Javonte Williams at running back, Miles Sanders at running back, Paris Campbell wide receiver, Robert Jones at offensive line, and Dante Fowler Jr. along the defensive line. Losing DeMarcus Lawrence and Rico Dowdle. Everything should be in a better spot for the Cowboys going into the season. Should be.
Who's coaching this team?
Schottenheimer, right?
Yeah, Marty's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer.
On paper, this should be all right. On paper. But this is Dallas. I don't have any faith.
Until
That they'll be
proven
able to actually make it happen.
Not at all.
What was your thought there, Nate?
otherwise.
All right. We'll see. I agree. I mean, I agree with Jim. This should be a team that's competing for a division crown. For some reason, we'll get to Thanksgiving and we'll be like,
That's exactly
why
what I
are
was
they
going to
not?
say.
Why are they not competing for the division crown like we expected?
I was going to say Thanksgiving too. I was like, Thanksgiving will come around and we'll all be like, well, there they go.
We're gonna watch this game, but it probably isn't gonna have any lasting implications for the season.
Yep.
All right. Any thoughts, Alex?
Nothing nice to say, so nothing at all.
You have even less nice things to say now that George Pickens plays there.
Yep, exactly. So I couldn't root for the Cowboys any less. Here we are.
I'm sure we can find options for you here. And last, we have the Giants, who brought in Russ Wilson at quarterback. That was about it that I saw. They had a lot of draft picks that they're hopeful on, so I will say those are key additions. Their draft.
What man's is another man's treasure.
Yeah, and key losses. It's kind of tough to have a key loss from a team that just sucks. So I just put down Darius Slayton at wide receiver. Even though any wide receiver for that team isn't really a loss, I think they can pick up people off the street that may do just as well.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can't lose things out of a dumpster.
I mean, you can, Alex.
It fell
You
off.
just don't care that it's
Fell
lost.
off the trash trucks.
You just don't care that it fell out. So, any other thoughts on the Giants? Does Russ Wilson do anything for this team, all said and done, or are they just doomed to be at the
He
bottom?
plays quarterback for him. He's already named starter.
I think that Russ Wilson is done with his career. I think this will be it. I think he'll play a few more years, probably bounce around to some not good teams, and every time he goes to one, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, look, we have Russell Wilson. We're going to be so good," and then we're not going to be good.
What's his new saying in New York?
I don't know.
Pay me.
Let's Giant. I don't know what do Giants do.
There is one, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, did
Pay
he have
me.
one for real?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his opening press conference, he always comes prepared for that.
What was the Steeler one? I forget. I don't even know.
It was like get to work. It was
Yeah.
some blue collar attempt.
That's right. That's the one that I think stuck.
Yeah. All right. What do we think ends up in the NFC East? Let's start with Nate.
I think the Eagles and the Commanders will tie at 11-6. It just comes down to tiebreakers. I think the Eagles take a step back this year, but I'm also, like we said, worried about the Commanders and their age if they can stay healthy all year. And I don't think they're going to obviously sneak up on anybody now with Jaden Daniels going to his sophomore season. Cowboys will be right on their heels at 10-7. Again, it's just until they're proven otherwise, I don't see them winning the division. Yeah, they had all those additions on offense, but what'd you do on defense? And the Giants, okay, they'll go from 3 wins? I have them at 5 wins. Now they'll be 5-12.
All right. Alex.
I'll say my generosity in this division will be that the Commanders will go 12-5, Eagles 12-5, Cowboys 8-9, and the Giants 4-13.
Okay, Jim.
I had the Eagles 11-6, Commanders 11-6, and it's simply because I can't decide which one wins. Cowboys 8-9 and Giants 6-11. I've never felt that way, where like which team will come out between the Eagles and the Commanders. So I could land where Alex is
Mm-hmm.
and have the Commanders winning it. I'm just straight down the middle between the two.
All right. I agree. I think it's going to be a tight race atop this division. I have the Eagles winning at 12-5, Commanders just one game back, 11-6, Cowboys find a way to get above 500 at 9-8, and the Giants have an abysmal season, 3 wins this year, 3-14 for the Giants. Any final thoughts on the NFC Beast?
2-4. I would say. I don't know if I would call them an NFC beast, but I do think the Eagles and Commanders will both be competitive teams this year.
I think it'll be fun to watch.
Nate, thoughts?
I would not want to be in the New York market.
Based on our thoughts and our projections, yes, it's all bad. All right, moving into the college football world.
Let's go.
We start off with Mr. President Trump, who signed an executive order to protect student athletes and collegiate athletic scholarships and opportunities, including in Olympic and non-revenue programs, and the unique American institution of college sports.
And Alex is gone.
Alex, where'd you go?
Where'd you go? I miss you so.
So, who's going to
Yes.
cover this?
Oh, I got it. So
Okay.
that was the basic thing. I got a couple bullet points here. Overall, this executive order requires the preservation, where possible, expansion of opportunities for scholarships and collegiate competition in women's and non-revenue sports. So overall, this is intended to, we'll say, quote unquote, protect amateurism and make sure that there are opportunities and that third-party entities are not paying collegiate athletes. So this is another brick in the let's make sure that colleges can pay their athletes themselves and there's not the wild west of third-party NIL money distribution. I'm going to boil it down to that.
I don't know that that's... Okay. I'm going to leave you be.
What are your thoughts, Jim?
Are you just broad brushing this? You're not pointing it?
That was me broad brushing the point by point.
Yeah. All right. So the first point where it says expansion of opportunities for scholarships and collegiate athlete competition in women's and non-revenue sports. I thought that was lip service. The way the order reads, I thought was flowery in the beginning and the meat and potatoes was at the end. Obviously, the goal is to preserve Olympic sports and non-revenue programs. Cool. I think that's everybody's intention. The order prohibits third-party pay-for-play to collegiate athletes, but does not apply to legitimate. Okay, so we're keeping the institution-based pay, right?
Right, NIL is still an option, but there has to be. It pretty much says NIL needs to have some type of,
Guardrails.
guardrails, or it needs to be contractually some way. You can't just throw money out and say, "Oh, they showed up for an hour and they got $2 million."
Right. The order provides that revenue sharing permitted between universities and collegiate must be implemented in a manner that protects women in non-revenue generating sports. That's where I was like, oh, thank you. Like, that's what we've all been calling for. And I thought that needed highlighted more, and the media didn't grab it enough. And, like, as I think people have caught on, I'm not the biggest Trump fan. I thought that he needs a lot of credit for that. Like, but nobody's going to give it to him. Like that.
Well,
that
because
was
that
nice to have.
Doesn't fit the narrative.
Right. That was nice. I think where I get like sketched out, the order directs the Secretary of Labor and National Labor Relations Board to clarify the status of student athletes to preserve non-revenue sports and the irreplaceable educational development of opportunities the college sports provides. Okay, now we're directing officials to get involved. Cool. To what end? Like, where are we going with this? Now I'm getting...
clarify what it means to be a student athlete with the end goal of making sure that these non-revenue generating sports don't get wiped out in the money grubbing that's going to go on. Because if you're looking at that, there is value. There's not just value to those that can make millions of dollars. There's also educational and other values for non-revenue generating sports for those that are competing in those sports to develop themselves as people, as athletes, and for the workforce later on.
So keep it so that the athletes are learning and developing as people, right?
We're not just, I think it's saying we're not just supporting the footballs and the revenue generating sports. We see that there's value in sports that don't necessarily generate revenue. There's value to the people that are participating in it.
This is where I got hung up. The order directs the Attorney General and the Federal Trade Commission to take appropriate actions to protect student athletes' rights and safeguard them from long-term stability and safeguard the long-term stability of college athletics from endless, debilitating antitrust and other legal challenges. We start shutting doors, I believe it's going to prevent lawsuits and things like that. Like, right? Am I wrong in that perception?
What I see here is NCAA figure the fuck out.
I saw it another way, but okay.
You've been embroiled in all of these issues. You've taken it to the government. You've asked for the government support. This order saying we're kind of done with that. Like, here's who would get involved, and the goal is to make this a stable situation and not always be in the flux that we've been in for the past 5 to 10 years.
Everything I've read, I'm with you. Everything I've read says the NCAA, Nick Saban, all these big timers talked to Trump, told him what they wanted him to say, and he put this out. So this is what the NCAA wanted, and it's kind of protecting the NCAA. Like, the NCAA said, all right, we paid out all this money. We broke everybody even. We're back to zero. We don't want the lawsuits to keep coming after us. we are powerless because we fucked up when Muff and Jim and Nate and Alex said, hey, stop this. We didn't. We sat on our hands. Congress wouldn't do it for us. We got a guy at the helm that will write executive orders. Let's go talk to him. And he did it. That's what I've read when I deep dove on this.
So, and this is, I don't disagree that there could be like some of this progression. You also, at the same time, using that logic that Trump is supporting collegiate institutions and wants them to continue to succeed, which many would say is not his stance.
I don't agree with that.
What?
I think that is his stance, which is crazy, and I'll probably get destroyed by liberal friends, but I think this one he's getting right. But I want to make sure we're putting the right people at the helm as he gets it right. I don't believe the Attorney General or the Federal Trade Commission or the Secretary of Labor or National Labor Relations Board should be the ones deciding this. That's my hang-up.
I think the FTC would be a part of any antitrust stuff, so...
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
That adds up to me. I mean, I understand there may be some speculation otherwise. But you think this... Okay.
We got to put the right people.
I did not expect your college and university's thought there.
Sorry.
Oh, I just didn't expect it. Doesn't matter to me.
I don't think he's totally off base here. I just want the right people at the helm to do what this is intended for.
Yeah. This is an order, so who knows what it's going to do.
That's the other thing I read is there's not a lot of meat and bones behind it because it's just an order, and you can't get it through Congress because none of them will agree like the sky's blue.
Right. Yeah, this is a thought at this point.
Right.
But a thought needs to be supported, needs to be lobbied for, it needs to go through. But this could provide a framework.
Well, and that's the last thing I'll say about what I read is that like this is the un-Trump-like measure that he took because he wanted to have a commission and overhaul the damn thing, and he stopped himself short and just put the executive order out there.
Right.
Which, again, I guess kudos because we never know what the commission would have done. But like, from what I've read, is the commission would have been burned the whole thing down. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much going on. I'm not just saying politically, but within the college landscape, right? That it's okay. There's something here that seems to make sense.
We've been at this podcast for what, 5-6 years? Just this podcast, not alone when we started the idea of a podcast, and we've been bitching about this setup.
Yep.
So for someone to come in, no matter who they are, and try to bring order that's similar to what we said, I'm cool with it.
All right. Thoughts, Nate, Alex? Or just Nate? Or Alex? Alex is back.
I'm here, but no. I don't have anything else to add that's worth it.
Neither do I.
All right. Some conference alignment discussions, talks, reports, rumors. UNC reportedly has a handshake agreement in place with the SEC to make a move if the opportunity presents itself.
Alex. Thoughts?
You just stopped right there.
I want to know what you thought. I want to know what you think about the UNC going to the SEC. I read this and was like, I got to ask Alex.
I hate it. It doesn't make sense.
Why?
It doesn't seem right. UNC does not seem like an SEC team.
Yeah.
In my heart. I feel like, if anything, honestly, I mean, they're an ACC team. But I could see maybe Big 12. It wouldn't be a bad Big 12 team.
Shocking that would be your opinion.
I knew it. Nate, what do you think?
I agreed
They're
that
scared
it
to join
doesn't
basketball.
Yeah, North Carolina SEC, that just doesn't sound right. Like when Oklahoma and Texas said they're going to go to the SEC, I'm like, that didn't sound right either. But I'm like, okay, their brands are big enough they compete
It's
pretty much
unreal
nationally.
popularity.
Where like North Carolina sports across the board are, I mean, other than football taking a step back over the past couple of years, now you get Bill in there, so anything goes now. Their basketball is always good. Their baseball is always good, and from what I've seen before, their soccer, their
Softball's not bad.
do they have softball?
Yeah.
I mean, I know not all
UNC's afraid of
have softball,
the
but
Big
I mean, they're
12
great in like every sport. So I mean,
Alex.
why not go to the best
So yeah,
division or the best conference for all these sports? They think SEC runs the world. But yeah, it just doesn't sound right. And then if they're the next domino to fall, then I feel like we're going to have a lot more dominoes falling after that.
Alex, you do realize the SEC was the dominant basketball conference last year, correct?
yeah, but
Okay, just want to make sure that you knew that.
not usually.
Okay. Next, and whoever did the notes, thank you. Big 12 has denied Memphis's offer to join the conference. Alex.
I think Memphis makes more sense in the SEC than UNC. I mean, Memphis
Okay.
Geographically, that's about it.
is like more of a Southeastern Conference team.
Yeah, only geographically, not from a prestige and program standpoint, Alex.
Get him off!
Yeah. It just I don't have a good answer. I'm just saying when I think of
Memphis is a second-rate program, and that would be why the Big 12 should consider them, because Memphis ain't going nowhere else. No Power 4. Sorry about
I
it.
wouldn't be mad if Memphis joined the Big 12. I'm not like, oh, get them out.
You don't
Big
think
12's their
that,
only shot, bud.
I mean, I know the ACC prides themselves on their athletic or academics as well, but you don't see Memphis potentially trying to go Big Ten or ACC?
Big Ten doesn't.
I just don't know who they'd
ACC.
replace in the Big Ten. Rutgers?
I think I could see them in the ACC.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. But it's nice to have you have a gym moment and get yours. I agree with you completely. I have exactly the same feelings, but I'm glad you got yours like I get mine sometimes.
Yeah, no, it does. Oh, I will admit that I don't really have sound logic. It just seems like if I was going to pick a conference that I think they should be in, it should be the SEC.
It just feels right.
That's really.
I know.
Hilltop.
I agree. Hilltoppers.
You know?
I read both of these and went, he's going to feel how I feel, but I'm going to let him walk into it so that Muff hits him with it. I agree with you, though.
And last, in some college football offseason, Deion Sanders and his medical team will be holding a press conference today, on Monday. What do we think this is going to be about? And is Colorado going to be looking for a new coach?
I think that's the hype we all want to buy into. I bet you he coaches from the booth.
I agree with
He's
that.
just not on the field.
Given
Not
given the timing, I don't think he's going to step away. I don't think Deion's that kind of guy, unless his medical team is like, dude, something is seriously wrong with you. You need to step away. I mean, because everybody knows
Is he
from
coaching from the booth on site, or is he in Cleveland?
Well, if he was in Tampa,
No,
watching Philo the other
Jokic.
day. But no, I can see what
That's
Jim's
true.
saying. Maybe you put him in the booth, and everybody knows about his stuff a couple years ago where he had to get some like toes amputated, and he was on like that scooter for a little bit.
Oh, I think he'll lose a leg before this is over.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I
he'll
can
lose
see
a
him
leg.
going in the booth and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm cleared for practice, but with game and all this stuff going on, they didn't want to let me on the sideline or wherever until this, that, or the other."
Mm.
Or it'll be a
Yeah.
whole lot to do about nothing.
I think the cold in Colorado and put him in the warm booth. That's what I think.
I don't know. They're in a legal or they're in a recreational.
I'm
state.
interested.
You'll be all right.
Only for home games, Nate. Only for home games. All right. Anything else in the college football world?
Mm-mm.
All right. Moving on to other interesting news in sports.
Other rest, dude.
News.
That thing in sports.
What the hell was he at?
That was
bad.
worse than normal.
All right. We only got a couple items here. First, we're going to go to the soccer world. where Inter Miami head coach Javier Mascherano criticized the MLS's decision to suspend Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba for Saturday's match for failing to participate in the All-Star game, questioning if that same ruling would have happened if Miami was traveling to another stadium that had sold out and would have welcomed Messi and Alba as all-stars, as well as internationally recognized figures. The league does have a rule that says players who don't participate in the All-Star game without prior approval are ineligible to compete in the club's next match. Mascherano said, and I quote, "Now I have a question. What would have happened if today's game was an away game? That it also prevent Leo from playing, because to fill stadiums and make money, no one complains, right? The thing is, this game was at home. I'll leave that to you."
That's soccer.
If they're playing away, do we think they would have allowed them to play?
Hopefully
I don't
not.
know.
If you're going to stick to your guns and say, "Oh, you didn't participate, you didn't get approval," but the world may never know. Just like Alex doesn't know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
One, a two, a tree. All right.
A 3.
Things go fast in circles, Jim. Go.
Bubba Wallace became the first black driver to win a major race on Indianapolis Motor Speedway's 2.5-mile oval, surviving a late rain delay, 2 overtimes, concerns about running out of gas, and Kyle Larson coming up from behind.
I actually watched the end of this race.
Yeah, pretty
I
cool,
had no
huh?
idea how you get to overtime in racing. In my mind, I'm like, you
Yeah,
either
I'll
win
bet
the
you
race
that.
or you don't win the race.
What's overtime in racing, and how do you get to 2 of them?
So the race is scheduled for X number of laps, unless
Right.
there's a caution at the end, and then you go for another green-white checkered. If it's caution before the white comes out, you go for another green-white checkered.
So you can't, because there were 4 laps left when they called it for rain.
Yep.
And then it was overtime all of a sudden, I feel like. And
Right, because you have the green-white checkered, because there's caution laps, right? They're not going to end the race under caution.
No, so I thought, do those laps count? Oh, so however many laps they drove during the extra.
The caution count.
Okay.
So they say, no, we're going to go to overtime and do a green lap, a white lap, and a checkered lap.
Okay.
If caution comes down before that white lap is over, we run it back again.
Because then there was a wreck, and that's why they had overtime too.
Right, because the wreck came before
the second lap was finished.
Over.
Okay.
Jim, I think you need to
So
develop
that
something.
can continue, not forever, but for a while.
Jim, I think you need to develop something for
Say
racing.
it again, Nate.
You need to develop something for racing, like hockey has a shootout. Baseball in the home run or in the All-Star game had the swing off. We need something for NASCAR.
They just get to the end and one lap.
Problem is that they used
Enough
to,
caution.
and people died. We used to, and people died. You used to race back to during the caution, when they used to race back to the checker. And that was bad. Real bad. Caution flag's out. First one to the finish line wins. Bad poop. Dangerous as all hell.
Go on a 60-second situation. Fast and Furious. Give them a quarter-mile stretch.
I mean, from the fan, you loved it. From the guy driving, your life was on the line.
Did not. All right, any other sports, comings, goings, news?
No. Football.
Football is here this week. Get excited. Again, follow us at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding. All the way to Thursday night in the Hall of Fame game, where people are going to be inducted. I don't even remember who's all being inducted this year, but congrats to them.
We'll cover it later.
We'll cover it later. And we still need to figure out how we're going to end episodes anymore. So
The Steelers Hall of Fame. Ben Roethlisberger, Marquise Pouncey, James Harrison Sr.
Yay.
And Joey Porter Sr.